Hi everyone, so I'm Brianna. I am one of the hosts of She Thinks She Knows podcast, and today we will have another Black business to continue the series of our Black business plug. We're gonna have the Garden of Eden join us today. For those of you who don't know, me, Mahar, and Damahya, we are big consumers of Garden of Eden, and it's kind of just one of our hangout spots here in Springfield. They are the only organic alkaline vegan restaurants in Springfield, so they'll be joining us a little bit to tell us more about their business and give us some, stories of how they got to where they are. So, if you guys don't know, our season 4 will be starting. Our first episode is going to be coming out this Friday, so definitely look out for that. This season we have amazing guests and really good content, so you guys definitely want to be keeping up with us and keeping up with all of our posts, because we're very excited about the season and we're sure that you guys will too. So it seems like they are here, so let's see. I don't know how to invite them. Let me see. If you guys don't know, I'm like super live often, so this is gonna be new for me. Hi for the people who are in here. Let's see if they get the request. So yeah, like I was saying, let me see. So also, if you guys don't know, we have our YouTube channel, She Thinks She Knows podcast, on YouTube. So definitely subscribe to that. What else? Yeah, so we're gonna have really good content for that as well. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I mean, somebody tell me if Garden of Eden, you guys can tell me if you're seeing my request or if I'm doing it wrong. Or maybe send me a request. Oh, it says they're unable to join. That's weird. For the longest time. Who's in here? Hi, Ian. Oh, it's been such a long time. How's life treating you? No? You guys can't join? Oh, this is weird. Maybe it's a service thing. Oh, they sent me a request? I didn't get a request. I'm sending you a request. Okay, there we go. I was like, is it me or is it?
Just turn it around. No.
We're having some technical difficulties.
I can see that. It's like, meanwhile.
It's too. I'll just hold it like this,
like
Daddy. It's too high. Our faces are cut off.
Okay.
So I'll just hold it like this. Hi.
Hi, guys. So,
Give me this thing that holds the tablet. Right?
Brianna has it.
Yeah. So, I let our audience know a little bit about you guys already. How you're doing Alkaline Vegan Cafe in Springfield, and how
my phone's charging. It's not gonna work.
Sort of our own little hangout. Okay, so are you guys ready to get started with our interview?
We're ready to get started.
Yo.
I'm ready to get started.
You gotta grab the other.
Like, what is going on back there, guys?
The lens.
Okay,
container.
first question.
Where is it?
So paint a picture.
Yeah, to be able to blend the rest of the herbs up there.
Yo.
Go ahead.
For our audience. So, how did Garden of Eden become the restaurant that it is? Let people know the story of Garden of Eden.
Okay, so how did the Garden of Eden become the restaurant that it is today? Well, what happened? Let me just go back from the beginning a little bit, okay? We started in the building with a dance studio, and it morphed into teaching nutrition, and then we added fitness, and then from the fitness we realized that people weren't, losing the weight. That was, at first it was the main thing, getting people to drop weight, and it wasn't happening. So what we did was, we realized, what the issue was. The issue was people were we were giving them a meal plan, and what they were doing was following their own meal plan, eating junk. So here we are, they're spending their money, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're doing everything we tell them to do in the gym, but they're not getting anywhere. So when we looked at it, we was already teaching about nutrition. So, well, wait a minute. The nutrition piece has got to be what's missing, okay? Because they're going out everything that they worked off in the gym, they're going right back to putting it back in their mouth after a workout, okay? So what we said was we had what happened is our fitness started growing. So across the hall from the dance studio, we had a room, a small room. So we said, okay, in the dance studio, we already had a small cafe, like just selling pastries and drinks, but we weren't really selling food. Okay, we were just feeding the children. Okay, and so we said, okay, let's take the room across the hall, and we'll turn that into a small cafe, and people won't have an excuse, or I can't go out, and eat the things that you guys tell us to eat because there's no place for us to buy the food. So we took that out. So we took that. We created a cafe. Probably had a table with two people to sit down only, and it actually was fun. That was the best part. Is the beginning of the cafe. That was where it was. I mean, it was absolutely. After everybody worked out, they would come hang out at the cafe. Just humor, and we had a couple. They used to out. They used to be rapping and singing, and it was really fun. But that's how it started. And then the gym just started growing, started adding classes, the whole 9 yards. And then there was a hat store downstairs, and the gentleman moved. Okay, after 10, 15 years, he got up there in age, and he's like, I want to do my stuff over the internet. So as soon as the place opened up, we said we're putting a cafe. We're gonna open up the cafe to the public, because prior to that, it was only open to our clients upstairs. And so, what we would do is every time we got a few, every other day when we got a day or two, we would build something, build this, build that. Put in the plumbing, put in the put in the bathroom. So it took about a good 5, 6 months, but then we finally got it done. And what you see now is not what it was. It came a long way. Actually, we created this whole thing with no money. So, when you're talking about businesses, people say, oh, but you need money. No, you need a will. That's what you need, because even upstairs, we had no money either. Okay, we just had a will. We started taking things that people, like upstairs, we had a bar. I used to do plumbing. So the lady was like, I got a bar and I'm throwing it away. I said, word? That could be an counter for our cafe. So we took the bar and we niced it up. It was pretty cool too, man. We made it look real nice. And because I used to do construction and plumbing. And I mean, it was beautiful. If you go on our Facebook, Garden of Eden Facebook, and look at our old video, you can see what the original cafe looked like. And then we came down here, and again, we started adding one, two little things until, what you see is what you got right about now.
I don't even remember that whole process.
That's a long time ago. But here's the thing: the original chefs, though, was Miss Mangru over here and Sadi Wadi. Okay, so they ran the cafe to begin with, and then we had another sister that used to work out. Well, actually, how did Renee came about? I think from when we was in the cafe over at the dance studio. She was started to do pastries. But you guys started doing the cooking. Yeah, and then we came.
I don't remember. I'm too young.
She was so young.
Yeah, they were about, I think you might have been about 15, and Sadi was about 14. And Sadi was she was the smoothie queen. Sadi was she was amazing when it comes to smoothies, man. And even still to this day, nobody can, put a torch to Sally. She's the best. And so yeah, so everything was running like clockwork upstairs and came downstairs, and it had to evolve because we knew nothing about running a cafe. Like I did, I ran quite a few businesses, but it was nothing like what you have today, like learning about food. This is the hardest business we ever ran.
Yeah, and that kind of leads.
In my life.
That kind of leads into the next question that I have. Running a restaurant, the restaurant life is not easy and all of this stuff. And me, from the outside perspective, I always wanted to know, okay, so what are some of the biggest challenges? You guys went from doing fitness, where it was like fitness kind of seems like, okay, you get your client, everyone wants to work out, all that stuff. It's just a matter of kind of bringing the people in. But with the restaurant, it's a little more complex. So what were some of the challenges you guys had sort of transitioning from solely fitness to like fitness and cafe and then cafe? And so what were some of the bumps in the roads that you guys experienced?
You want to take that one?
I'll take it. You add on. Not only is it just a cafe, it's a vegan, alkaline vegan cafe, and so that adds a whole nother level of complexity to the situation.
Whole nother situation.
Yeah, because one of the most difficult things is finding people to work. That's one of the most difficult things, and because of that vegan, like, we're not here just to serve food, but we're here to bring health to the community. We want to hire people and young people that understand that. And so despite that roadblock, it's tiring. Like, you're working really 6 to 7 days out of the week.
Actually 7 days.
Well,
You're lucky
yeah.
if you get 1 day to rest.
You're right.
You're still thinking when you're resting.
So another thing that's on the health, vegan, alkaline tip, everything here is homemade as well. And so the level of preparation that it takes to prepare one meal is, I don't know, probably 3 times the amount of time it would take a Burger King on 99, somewhere where a franchise where you just buy the stuff and it comes on a truck.
Yeah.
And then the other part is, once again, we're bringing health to the community, and so engaging the people that come through the door. It's not just serving them food, and letting them leave. And so, as it's a challenge, it's really rewarding because you're tired, you're working long days and you're prepping. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, let me add something to that. So, some of the challenges. Well, if you've never done something before, you have to learn as you go along sometimes. And if you never had anybody to teach you, then it's a whole nother level of learning on your own. Like you young folks, oh, don't tell me nothing, Daddy. I can figure it out on my own. See, y'all don't want parents to tell you how to do it. Because y'all think y'all know everything, you can figure it out. It ain't that easy. Same thing with a business. I always tell people it's better if you work somewhere, right? I don't care if it's Burger King. If you want to get into the food business, I always tell people it's best to learn it from a small restaurant, very small, because then you learn
business in general.
Business in general. Always start with a small business, because when you work for large corporations, you get one task and that's it, and you don't have to think. It just becomes repetitive. There's no thinking involved. But when we work for a small business, especially with this cafe, one, you gotta learn how to cook, because most of the people who started working here, shoot, I think everybody here started learning how to cook. Really, most of the young people who started working. I don't know anyone who started who was working here and knew how to cook. And so that's one thing. You gotta teach. You gotta prepare the recipes. Then you have to teach the young folks, right? Young, old, it don't matter. You still have to teach them what goes into your recipe, how to prepare the food, because you got to learn the recipe. Okay, that's a challenge in itself. So now, while you're trying to cook, you're trying to teach somebody, and you got to be doing two things at once. It can be very taxing. I promise you, especially if you get an employee who's not a quick learner. And boy, oh boy, we have one or two, not a whole lot, because we've been very fortunate here that a lot of the young folks who come through here, they're like, you know, very how can I say, very smart. Okay, quick learners. You know, they're move makers, good attitudes. But we had a few that the attitude is nasty. Because one of the good parts about running a cafe, especially a small cafe, is your attitude have to be right. Because you have to be the first. You're the first person that the customers see when they come in. So before they even hit the door, that smile got to be on your face, and you got to greet the people as soon as they hit the door. Never mind when they get up to the counter. Now, not every day you're in a good mood. Believe me, I can tell you, but it don't matter. You won't know. Unless you know me, you won't know what kind of mood I'm really in. Except, Zeph, you look tired, and that's about it. But you don't know if I'm having a bad day because this is part of my uniform. Having a smile on my face and talking to people like everything is all good. Okay? Now, because we're cooking alkaline food, okay? What that we can't, you know, readily, food is not readily available to us. I'll give you an example. Like we make lasagna on Thursday, one of our best dishes here, but we use a specific tomato. Not always available, so we can't always make a lasagna. Sometimes people know on Thursday we make lasagna. They come in for lasagna. You have to tell them, I'm sorry, we wasn't able to get the tomatoes and the smile. So how do you tell people cheer up when you find it, you know what, on lasagna? Next, we have a burger. It's a plain burger. That's from heaven, I think. I don't know where we got that recipe from, but it's one of our main dishes that we sell here Monday and Friday. Now, in the summertime, from spring, fall, the plantains are perfect. Right, makes a burger like something that you never like you could eat one of those all day long. But then wintertime is a winter fruit. So they have to get it from another country. When they get here, it takes a whole month to get it right. So that's very challenging for us because sometimes now you have to cook the plant twice to get it to get soft enough to smash it. So we have to smash it, and that's a pain in the butt. That's the time where I hate to do that particular dish because that plantain ain't right in the wintertime. You got problems. So those are just a few of the challenges that we had. Also, what I think those are certain herbs that we use and certain nuts that we use. We use a specific nut. Now, this is the first time we had this problem. Brazil nut. Okay, that's the most nutritious nut on the planet. We haven't been able to get it for the whole week. Now we use that to make our smoothies. Yeah, and I went yesterday, and oh man, I really that.
I need some.
Because
I was gonna need some.
we make our own nut milk, so we don't use anything from a box. So we take it, we blend it, and use that for our porridge, for our smoothie, for ice cream. What else? Anything that requires nut milk, and that milk is the best and the most nutritious for the week. And it's the first time we got that problem. There's only one place you can buy it, up in Northampton. So we're specific about our food here, because the goal is, just because it says vegan doesn't mean a thing, not to us. It has to be vegan, organic, and alkaline, meaning nature produced the food. So you have the nut milk, the Brazil.
Are we frozen?
No, I was reading. There's a question, so I'm gonna ask you guys after.
Oh, because it was not loading. Sorry. Go ahead.
It was
So very quickly, so you can get your question. So I forgot what I was saying.
You were just talking about how the Brazil nut's hard to find right now.
Yeah. So so a lot of things, because we're on the alkaline side and nature produces it, some things we have to wait for nature to produce it for it to become available.
So we have a question from the audience. Emil, he's wondering, so how would you explain alkaline vegan to those who don't know what it is? And that's a really good question. I realized I didn't ask that. Not everyone knows what alkaline vegan is. So can you explain the difference between that and a regular vegan?
You want to do it?
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I add to it.
So, we say that we're on the extreme side of veganism, and so alkaline. The word alkaline comes from the pH scale. So there's acidic, and there's alkaline, and eating alkaline food means you're eating food that's loaded with oxygen, which essentially means that when your body's loaded with oxygen, disease cannot thrive. And so we got this way of thinking, teaching, whatever you want to call it, from the late Dr. Sebi. So a famous holistic healer that focuses on healing through food and herbs. And so that's what we do here. And so alkaline to heal. And so vegan is just a term that says there's no animal products, and that there's no animal products really. And so I tell people all the time, Oreos are vegan, like vegan, like
McDonald's fries are vegan.
yeah. Well, actually, yeah. So vegan just means vegan means that there's no animal products. One of the things we don't like to do, we really don't like using the term vegan, but it's just the word to describe it. I tell people all the time, like before we even started the cafe, my dad's been on the journey for at least 5 years before starting the cafe. So I didn't even know it was called vegan until about 3, maybe 4 years ago, my senior year of high school. That's when I learned, like the cafe serves vegan food. Like I didn't even know that was a term. So we really just like to call it a way of life rather than put all these labels on it, because it's a fad. Vegan is a fad, and we're not into the fad. We're healing. So
So here at the cafe, like we have a, what do you call it? Table, a saying on the table: heal with every. So that means if you are diabetic, right? This is the place you would eat. Why? Because it's all organic for one. Okay, and that's how we say it's organic. And
Say that part one more time because it kind of just went.
So on our table, as soon as you come in, the first thing that you're greeted with is a saying on our table that says, heal with every meal. So that means if you come here and you're a diabetic, you eat here for 2 weeks straight and you follow the regimen that we give you, your sugar will drop. And if you do a detox, you bring your sugar back to normal. Okay?
Insulin be gone.
Insulin be gone. Metformin don't exist in your life. Now that's type 2. Type 1 is a little different because you have you know, it's not only is it a food issue, but you also have a pancreas issue that's clogged up with mucus, and that's a whole nother teaching there. But you know, that's type 1, so there's a little more involved in that. It's not just food alone. So you definitely can get results by eating an organic, vegan meal.
Alkaline.
Organic, alkaline, vegan meal. Sorry, because and necessary. The both of them is necessary, because even if you're eating a carrot, let's just say, and they say, oh, it's organic, so that doesn't mean anything to us. Why? because nature didn't produce the carrot. Okay? There's foods that nature didn't produce. Man produced it because he has the patent on it. The grapefruit, ruby red grapefruit. There's a patent on ruby red grapefruit. That's made with two different oranges. And 99% of your oranges are hybrids. It's two different fruits mixed together. So you need to know what's going in your mouth. So just because it say vegan, we don't like to use it, but just for conversation purposes, we do. It's very important that you know what's going in your mouth. And so we tell people, there's 400-pound vegans that come into our place all the time. It's impossible. And I'm telling you, impossible to be 400 pounds if you're eating an alkaline, organic, vegan meal. Now, how could you be 400 pounds even though you're not eating meat? Because you're eating food like white rice, brown rice, potatoes, yams, give me some more, broccoli, cauliflower, corn, yellow corn, what else? Give me some more soy. All of those things that man put his hand to. And so therefore they don't have any nutritional value. Nothing but carbohydrates. Okay? And they have to use a lot of poison to grow those foods. And that's why you see cancer is on the uprise. Because all of those foods, people are eating them. They're getting very huge. Okay? And they're getting a lot of disease from that. So we focus on health, not just, something that tastes good.
Okay. So one thing that I wanted to this kind of goes a little bit back to
Riri, you're pretty good what do you call it? Interviewer. I didn't know you was that good.
We're having technical difficulties on our side.
I think that people are saying he said I'm on Wi-Fi. That's interesting. I don't really know because I can't see it for myself.
Hold on, baby. We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean we're seeing that they're saying okay we're freezing a lot and stuff, but I can't see that. So I mean I'm just gonna hope that this comes out pretty good.
Okay. No, I was saying
so
you're a pretty good interviewer.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna let you do all my interviews from now on.
So tomorrow it's gonna be raining, Elijah. So.
What did you say?
No, I was answering one of
Nothing, Dad.
So going back into the interview, I wanted to know. So you guys, for me, being at the cafe and kind of seeing how you guys do things, one thing that I noticed is that in Springfield, there's not a lot of places you can get fresh foods and things like that. So how have you guys really navigated? Well, two questions. How did you navigate getting all of the foods that you needed to run the cafe? And two, what insights have you gained in this process of learning about small places here and there where you can get food when you didn't have any?
One more time, sorry.
Okay, so the first question is how did you guys get around finding all of the foods that you needed for the cafe, seeing how Springfield isn't really known to have, so many fresh food spots or places where you can get all of that produce? And also, what insights have you gained with getting groceries during the seasons and all that stuff? What insights have you had on that?
You found my phone?
So, the service is so bad. I'm sorry right now, but I think I heard your question. So you were asking, how did we navigate finding all the food that we need, given that Springfield is a food desert, essentially. So that's the thing. We don't usually get our food from Springfield. So we travel up north all the time to get our food, be it Whole Foods, Red Fire Farm, which is a more local farm that serves all organic stuff, as well as another store, River Valley Co-op, that we go to. And so we don't usually get our food from Springfield. And so that's another, I guess you could say that's another roadblock as well, or challenge, just because when you're serving organic food, you can't buy stuff 2 weeks, 1 week in advance. So our grocery store runs are usually twice a week, sometimes every day if the stores, like my dad mentioned earlier, doesn't have what we need. Um, and so that's sad, but it's just a reality. But we also are willing to go through that because it's a food desert, and so one of the things we want to do here is provide people with something that they otherwise wouldn't get.
Yeah.
And so we're not selling the produce like in its raw form, I guess you could say, but we're serving people meals that they don't necessarily have access to in the grocery store or other restaurants.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, we're like right in the middle of all the small towns. We're in the middle of the hood is like 5 minutes away. Forest Park is like we're right on the line of the hood and Forest Park, Long Meadow, Hamden, Wilbraham. It's like that's why they call it the X. We smack dead in the middle of everything. So you can reach our place within 5 minutes from any one of those towns. But the problem is all the good food, the farms are on the outskirts of all those places. So like my mentioned, you have Whole Foods, which is in Northampton. Granby, you have Red 5 Farm. What's the other one? Get the nuts from
River Valley.
River Valley, Northampton. Okay, and then in the hood there's a garden in the community. Is that what it's called? GTC. And it's pretty good. Y'all can hear that nonsense, right? Wow.
I don't even know where they are.
If you guys don't know the big reveal, we're in the same building.
It's getting a little dark where I am right now. I don't know if you guys can tell.
We're gonna have to speed this up.
Okay, so any case, serve the hood, basically, and we can get some of the stuff we need from GTC, but we can't get it all. So we have to go on the outskirts to get the rest of it. And, because our goal is to heal the community. Okay, that's our goal. Because, in the hood, with black folks, Hispanic, we eating garbage food, really is what we eat. Everything from price wrong is what I call it. You go to
oh gosh.
What's the name of that place? BJ's. If you go to BJ's, I mean, you see the carts these people come out with. There is nothing green. There's no real fruit. They got fruit cups. You feel me? And everything in a box or a can or a bag. Nothing that's healthy for you. So having the GTC right in the smack dead of the hood is one of the greatest things that could have happened to the community. But not enough people, in my opinion, is taking advantage of it. And everything is organically grown. No no chemicals, no nothing. It's 100%. So we try to get people to go there.
There was one other thing I forgot to say. Oh, finding places that serve all the materials that we need, that was literally years worth of finding out. We didn't know about River Valley 2 years ago, right? Maybe we just started going 2 years ago. So there just were certain things that
No. You know why we started going to River Valley? We knew about it. But we could get everything we needed from Whole Foods. And since the pandemic, they shut down the bulk area in Whole Foods. Yeah, and only River Valley is carrying bulk items. So we don't buy things in the bag. Like I said, our nuts, you go to the bulk area and you pour yourself. So they stopped doing that at Whole Foods. So that's why now we got to go to 3, 4, 5 different places to get our stuff because it's no longer centralized at Whole Foods.
But so that's still an ongoing process. So it's just about when I get so excited when we find somewhere new that has
Yeah.
something that we don't usually have access to.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing process.
So, like for example, the same place that Whole Foods usually get their vegetables from local farmers in the summertime, right? Spring, summer, and fall. So now we have access to those farmers, so we can get our stuff at the same price. Whole Foods, well, not at exactly the same price, but we can save almost 50% because we're getting our stuff from the same supplier as them. So that's been exciting for us. Like our watermelons.
Yeah.
You know,
This summer
man, that
watermelons were good.
watermelon seeds. Yeah,
Watermelons this summer was
watermelon with
fit.
seeds. Mm. We can go to the same supplier and get it ourselves as well. So we can make it affordable to our community.
So, this was actually a very great conversation, and I think our comments are actually really great. I want to shout out BL Vibes because they were giving a lot of insights, and everyone who was keeping the comment section active, Emil, Elijah, Maharo, Renee, all of the people in our comments who were giving, really showing us a lot of love. It's getting dark on my end, so we're gonna wrap it up before it's completely dark. Do you guys want to give some final remarks, some advice? You can plug your cafe now and let people know where to find you.
I'll give the final remark. One of the things that we tell people or that we want to encourage is changing your diet, and changing it drastically. And so when you change what's on your plate, you're doing a revolutionary thing. That's what I tell people all the time. And I don't think they understand what I mean when I say that, but it's seriously a revolutionary thing. When you're in this lifestyle, your life changes and you become more in tune with yourself, your people, nature. And so changing your lifestyle is revolutionary, and Black people need to begin embarking on this journey. It's very important. Anything?
Yeah, well, like the Maya saying, the real revolution, you should be at war with your plate, not with each other. See, when you're at peace with each other, that means you love each other. So we need to love each other and hate what's on our plate right now so that we can be at one with each other and our plate. Meaning when we're at one with what's on our plate, we are eating food that nature produced. And that's what you have to look for. Things that the creator created to work with your biology. Okay? We cannot eat the meat. Okay, a lot of people don't understand that a cow is not, nature didn't produce a cow. And nature didn't produce a chicken. I don't care if it's the white, brown, purple, any part of the chicken. Nature didn't produce it. It's a man-made animal. Okay? Just like a cow. Okay? And so your body can't break those things down. It cannot metabolize it. So what you have to do is look at what's on your plate and say, how can I change it? And if you don't know where to start, you know where to find it. We're at 439 White Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. Our phone number is 413-233-7216. We're in Springfield, Massachusetts. Just give us a call. If you need some help, make an appointment. We do detox programs where we focus on cleaning the whole body and then giving you
regimen to follow.
Regimen to follow. We give you got a food list we're gonna give you. You don't have to think at all. We give you everything you need. We got fitness, we got herbs, we do cookbooks, we do it all. Just come check it out. Check out the place, check out the food. Like the Maya said, everything we do, from scratch. Our burgers is not anything that we buy in a box like that impossible meat, and it really is impossible. Believe it. They got the right name for it. It's impossible for that thing to make you healthy because it's nothing but poison. So what you want to do is come to the garden and give us a try. Okay? If you have questions, give us a call. To the best of our ability, we'll be able to, we'll answer your questions. Okay? And if we don't know it, we'll find it out for you. Okay? If we don't have the resource, we'll do our best to point you to the right place for any resources. Okay. Um, and I think that's about it. Um,
Yeah. And
yeah.
you can
Thank you
follow
guys.
us on
Oh yeah.
Instagram
Yeah.
and at Garden of Eden 1, obviously, and then we're also on Facebook as well.
And
Garden
Garden
of
of
Eden
Eden,
Springfield.
Springfield. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
guys.
hold on, let me. So are we on? She thinks she
Instagram.
know what we on right now. She
We're
thinks she
we're
knows.
gonna this video is gonna be on She Thinks She Knows page. So we
Okay.
can share it.
All right. So I want to. Yeah. So make sure y'all tune in to She Thinks She Knows, because I don't know any other podcast that's bringing you information like this. This is revolution here.
Yeah, I heard
Revolutionary
that.
here, right? So please make sure that you tune in, because they're bringing you guys some good content. Okay, because this is really, I mean, there's things, I'm sure you learned one or two things. We didn't have enough time, but, we're
Yeah.
going to continue bringing you things that make sense. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not just things for your entertainment, but things that you can apply to your life. So She Thinks She Knows is the place to be, y'all. Okay?
And before we completely wrap up, I do want to say, because this conversation was kind of cut short due to time, you guys can continue to learn a lot about the cafe, because they actually do their own lives every once a week, teaching you guys new things about food, about your body, really anything and everything. So if you guys enjoyed this conversation, you can definitely have a lot more with them on their lives. So we'll definitely be posting those as well. So thank you guys.
But so if you go on our Facebook and you
Instagram.
or both of them, either one, and I don't know, like, how you subscribe to Facebook, like, so you can get the
Notification.
You
notification.
can like the page.
Yeah, if you like the page, you get all the notifications when we send them out. And don't ask me about Instagram. I'm too old for that. That ain't my thing. I just learned how to do Facebook, y'all.
Well, thank you for having us on. And
Yeah, well, thank you.
see
Thank
you
you.
in a minute.
See
All
ya.
right. Good job, baby. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, so thank you guys for joining our live. This was actually a really great conversation, and I wish it went on for much longer. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, I'm in the dark right now. So again, I appreciate everyone who contributed to this conversation, participated. Like I said, well, if you missed it in the beginning, season 4 for us is on its way. This Friday we'll have our first episode, so definitely tune into that. If you haven't followed our YouTube page is She Thinks She Knows Podcast. Subscribe, push the notification button so that you can be filled in on all of the new content that we're going to have coming out during this season. You guys don't want to miss this season. We have really good guests, and our content is top tier. So